And Peter Schrager, Kyle Brandt, and myself. How were your ribs, Kyle?
Oh, they're all right. I took a shot from Nate, as usual, when I wasn't looking. But I rested. I spent my entire break, 16 straight days, watching coach's tape on Joe Burrow. That's all I did.
All 22?
That's it. All 22. I'm ready.
That's what we like to hear. It's time for the Lead Block.
Lead Block.
Speaking of Joe Burrow, who's expected to go #1 overall, let's talk about the Combine. And coming to us live from Indianapolis this morning is our very own Tom Pelissero. Tom, what can we expect to see from Indy this week and later this week, of course?
Okay, the quarterbacks, receivers, and tight ends have already arrived here in Indianapolis. In fact, the weigh-ins, the measurements are taking place for some of those guys right now inside Lucas Oil Stadium. Another group of players, including the running backs, gets in this afternoon. First on-field drills, including some new drills Thursday night involving the quarterbacks, and those will be in prime time. Now, this is a big-time schedule shift for everybody involved. Things are much more spread out. I spoke to some NFL scouts and executives last night who told me they really don't have a lot to do during the day today and tomorrow. Then come Wednesday, everything is absolutely around the clock. Now, we also know that this is where a lot of times teams' free agency plans begin to crystallize. A unique class led by Patriots legend Tom Brady. Teams technically cannot contact agents for players that are not on their own teams until March 16th, but certainly a lot of conversations in the bars, the restaurants, hotels around town in the coming days about trades and otherwise.
It's very exciting, Tom, and so is the prospect of Tua. We don't know exactly what he's going to do in light of the injuries he's been through, and I'd love to hear about that. But first, Tom, there's some disagreement at the table, and I think maybe in the country.
Yep.
Can you please give us, Tom Pelissero, your de facto pronunciation of Tua's last name, sir?
I would never doubt the NFL research team, and their pronunciation is Tagovailoa.
Great. Tagovailoa, for the record.
The N is silent.
Pelissero, what can we expect from Tagovailoa in the Combine?
I will be referring to him from here strictly as Tua, just to keep this thing simple. The biggest thing for him is going to be the medical report, because it's not just the hip that he dislocated back on November 16th that he's still recovering from. He has also had tightrope surgery on both of his ankles. He had surgery last March to repair a broken index finger on his throwing hand, and he played through a knee injury in October. Now, you have 32 teams. They each have their own medical staff. Each has its own degree of risk tolerance. So everybody will get the same information and then draw their own conclusions about how well Tua's body can hold up in the NFL. They'll also get to know him a little bit better in the interviews this week. He's a laid-back personality, but everybody at Alabama says he is an excellent leader. They're also going to test him on the board. That's common with what you do with quarterbacks. See how they learn information, how they retain it, considering that Tua had success under 3 offensive coordinators in 3 seasons at Alabama. Adaptability would not seem to be much of a concern, guys.
32 teams are going to put on their goggles. They're going to get in the lab, put Tua between 2 thin microscopic slides, and under the scope he goes. Thank you so much, Tom. We'll talk to you in a little bit. Thanks for coming to us live from Indianapolis here during Combine Week. So clearly Tua is the wild card in this whole thing, right? In this whole draft thing. So Schrags, looking then at the free agents, this is all a mess at quarterback, right? These are the potential guys. Who's the domino that you're looking for?
This is the biggest transitional year for the quarterback position in at least a decade. And you look at these names here, this is just the start. Then you add in the second-tier quarterbacks. Then you add in, of course, the rookie quarterbacks. And suddenly you've got a carousel unlike we've ever seen as a show. What's fascinating to me is the first domino, and it's not Tom Brady to me. Tom Brady's not the first domino. He's not going to be the one who dictates this thing. The first domino is going to take place on Thursday, and it was supposed to take place on Tuesday. Let me explain. Because of all the CBA issues last week, they pushed back the start of the franchise tag placement from Tuesday to Thursday. So there are 3 quarterbacks who I'm looking at.
Okay.
Dak Prescott, Jameis Winston, and Ryan Tannehill. Are these guys going to be franchise tagged or not? And why is that so significant? Because if you are franchise tagging Winston, Prescott, or Tannehill, these 3 teams are not looking for a quarterback, and these 3 guys are off the board. If you're not franchise tagging those guys,
right,
suddenly you open the door for them to explore other opportunities. But more importantly, suddenly Tennessee becomes an option for a quarterback to land. Tampa Bay becomes an option. And then Dallas becomes an option. So because the CBA is in such flux right now, and whether they're going to get the deal done or not, and there's a meeting Tuesday to see if there is, the NFL proactively said, let's push that back a couple days. So Thursday is now the deadline, not Tuesday. So these quarterbacks here are still in limbo, and these teams were still not sure. I say this because the 2 destinations I keep hearing that are so fascinating are Tennessee and Tampa Bay. Tennessee for Phillip Rivers and for all these other quarterbacks, and of course, John Brady. Tampa Bay for all these other quarterbacks, too, that suddenly you have Arians and 2 wide receivers who had 1,000 yards that are under the age of 26. Very, very attractive destinations for quarterbacks. And, of course, Dallas is the biggest show in town. Those 3 guys are the first dominoes. If they're franchised, take those teams off the market, take those quarterbacks off the market. If they're not, well, then let's play ball and let's start seeing who can make a deal.
It's an interesting way to think about it. I thought it was more Brady. Brady's the big one.
Yeah, listen, you said that Tua might be the wild card. You could say that Joe Burrow is the jack of all trades. If you want to go to guys that are playing in the league, Pat Mahomes, he's the young ace. But let me be very clear. Brady is the king of the deck, and he's still the king. So Brady is going to control the narrative throughout this offseason, and things are going to fall after Tom Brady makes his decision. Now, do I believe Tom Brady is going anywhere else? No. I believe that Tom Brady will be in a Patriots uniform right now. He has them hostage because they have to pay him. He's like Michael Jordan at the end of his career. He can do one-year deals and really break the bank.
Hey, there's a lot of heat on this Brady to the Titans thing. Can you see it?
I cannot see it at all. I don't
Mike
see Brady.
Vrabel, his former teammate, the head coach.
I don't see Brady going there. We still have to figure out what's going on with Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry was a huge part of this offense. Are they going to bring back Derrick Henry, which will make Brady's job easier? Will he be in the same type of system he's been in for the last 20 years? No. All these answers will be no. I feel like Tom Brady will be in the Patriots uniform. The question is, will Tom Brady help the team turn into Wayne Brady? And let's make a deal. Now, who will they make a deal with? Will they go get A.J. Green and try to figure out a way to get him in a Patriots uniform? Or will they try to make a deal with the Browns and bring Odell Beckham? I feel like Tom Brady is waiting to see if he can strong-arm this team into making a decision to bring more talent so he has the pieces this year. With all this said about Tom Brady's age and a lack of talent around him, they still were in the playoffs. And Tom Brady still played better than the majority of quarterbacks in the league. Tom Brady is still the king of the deck, and we got to wait and see what happens.
Let me give some clarity on Brady's situation here. So Brady can sign with the Patriots at any time. He can extend the deal. He can do it right now, anytime. He can't be franchised. The way he worked his contract, that's the deal. So it's so unique. So tomorrow we could wake up and Brady signed a $30 million deal with the Patriots. He's back. Or we could wait till March 15th. So Brady really is the biggest chip in this thing. And yet, if the Titans don't franchise Tannehill, you better believe those Brady rumors are going to be through the roof, that they have something in their back pocket and they have something up their sleeve.
It's a stunning phase that we're in right now. I mean, we can get wrapped up in Burrow and Tua, and we will. Just a little context. Think about some of these people and some of their accolades. The number 1 and number 2 picks from just 4 years ago could become available. Jamison Mariota. The MVP from just 4 years ago, Cam Newton, could become available. Phil Rivers, maybe future Hall of Famer, is available, and then the greatest football player to ever play the sport ever is going to be like, what do you got? It's a crazy month.
Yeah.
And what I do at this time is I don't have the same type of sources Peter might have. I like to listen to people talk, and I like to read and use my human instincts.
What you got?
I saw a clip of Jim Irsay, okay? I saw a clip of Jim Irsay, one of the Colts, and he was asked about Jacoby Brissett in the future. You guys, might you be movers and shakers and quarterbacks in the quarterback market? Tell me, you read this and tell me what you think.
Chris and Frank and I have really talked about this, and man, we're really open-minded. I mean, there's a lot of ways this thing could turn, but right now, you know, Jacoby is the starter.
I see that. I see the Colts are making a move.
Yeah.
The Colts are making a lot of ways. Right now, Jacoby is the starter. I mean, that seemed to me like a team that's making a move.
Phil Rivers as an Indianapolis Colt.
I know that's a popular choice. You know, it's complicated with him because there's family and there's geography involved. Is he going to move into Indiana away from his I don't know. I like it as football-wise. I do. But I can tell you this, book it right now. I don't have sources, all that. The Colts are going to make a move at quarterback, and it's going to be them. The Colts are going to make a move.
You're asking him a lot of Brady questions. Are you still sitting in your world of Brady going back to the Patriots?
I am, and it's on them.
And you feel the same conviction? If
he doesn't, it's because the Patriots failed him. I looked at Foxborough and I say, it is on you, sirs, to keep him there and to go get the players to keep him there. If you go to tight end and get a wide receiver, he ain't going nowhere. If you don't do squat, he might be gone. It's up to you.
So you don't think he was just unhappy? He wants a little bit more than just players and just money?
I think he badly wants to win in New England again.
Yeah.
And I don't think he can unless they really bring in more talent.
Do you want a microcosm of how this is going to go? Amendola re-signs with the Lions on Saturday. All the reaction is just, oh, they let Brady down again. Brady wanted him. That's going to be every single player that signs with any team, especially his former teammates. Brady is going to be the story, but every move in the NFL is going to be tied to the Patriots. And how is that? How did the Patriots not get him? That's what's going to happen.
Kyle, you played that clip. Let me ask you, trying to read in between the lines of Jim Irsay's forehead, Do you see that there's a possibility that Andrew Luck can come back and play football?
I don't think so. We haven't heard a peep from that, and I know that everything you do here is that he's happy and there's nothing there. It's an interesting question, and to Mr. Irsay's credit, maybe he just has an amazing poker face, and maybe he's playing all of us. But I don't usually get played in these things. What do you think, Nate?
I feel like when I heard that clip, the first thing I thought was Andrew Luck. And I don't know why he came to mind.
I didn't even think of that.
He's been sitting out, and I'm pretty sure a year away from the game, being healthy. You don't think there's a little bit of the competitive nature that's coming back to Andrew Luck saying, you know what, I feel good, my body's 100% healthy, I could come back and play hero for this organization that loves me? I don't know. It's a possibility.
I love it.
Could be reading some Albert Camus on a beach, though. We don't know. I mean,
James Patterson, those things turn themselves. Those things fly.
There's some crazy free agents. And Irsay, by the way,